that we're going to do is the Carolina Panthers. They were out Christian McCaffrey most of the season last year. I think he only played 3 or 4 games total. Then they traded away their starting quarterback from last year, Teddy Bridgewater, to the Denver Broncos, but they also did get Sam Darnold in the off season. The Carolina Panthers, they finished 5-11 last season, so their draft needed to be just as good as the Falcons. So who was their best draft pick?
So I'm going to go with their 5th round pick, Davion Nixon out of Iowa. This is a kid that was predicted to be early 2nd round pick. And again, he was one of the names that's just kind of watching him fall. You know, I get to obviously get to watch Iowa play every single year.
Yeah.
And this kid plays his heart out on every play. Iowa is kind of known for producing really good defensive linemen. This kid is a huge value pick for them. He's ready to go as an interior pass rusher. He's agile. He's got good explosion. He's got good length. He's not very good against the run. But he should, with Derek Brown on that defensive line starting next to him, that should even itself out a little bit. But the guy has got an explosive first move to get after the quarterback. So I really like that pick.
Yeah, and my pick here is I'm going to go offensive line. Anytime you can add depth to your offensive line, especially in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, and get a player like Brady Christian from BYU, that is a great pick in my opinion, because Wyatt had him going in the 2nd round, early 2nd round. So for him to fall to late 3rd round was a big surprise for me. I mean, he is 6'6", 300 pounds, so he is a big body, and he is going to protect Sam Darnold a lot. Sam Darnold has never had protection, so Sam Darnold might become an MVP caliber quarterback simply from this pick right here. So on the flip side,
well, then if you look at their 4th round pick, Chubba Hubbard too, to back up CMC.
Yeah.
I mean, Chubba Hubbard, before the football season started last year, was widely considered probably the 2nd or 3rd best back in the country. I don't think he did much to disprove that he wasn't one of the best backs in the country. You know, though, you know, he had the little tiff there with the coach, but and said he'd sit out, but and I think if anything that may have been what hurt him. But yeah, but they're getting another really good pick for them. They went after value at almost all positions too, except for their worst pick.
Who is their worst pick in your eyes?
So for me is their 3rd round pick, Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble, the tight end out of Notre Dame. You picked a guy that's basically just essentially he's a blocking tight end. You used a 3rd round pick on a guy that is a blocking tight end specialist. Like, his specialty is blocking. He's not that great of a receiver. He does flash a little bit. He's not going to be a burner. He's going to be the quick 3 steps in or 3 steps in out, you know, underneath. He's going to be the 4th option underneath guy if he even gets that far. I just think that they took him way too high. And for a guy that hasn't been known for his receiving, I can't really justify using a 3rd round pick on a guy like that.
Yeah, and before I give you my thoughts here, we need to give out the shout out to Joe's mama. Joe's mama is here in the chat. See, Joe, we told you should have gone to church. See, now your mama's in here checking in on you here. But you're actually giving a player. I am looking at the rest of their draft. Yes, they added depth where they already had talent, but they did not address the biggest need the Carolina Panthers did not. They lost a great linebacker, and their linebacking core was thin and suspect at best most of the season, and they did not address that needs at all. So every other pick that they had, the tight end, they really didn't need Chubba Hubbard. Yes, he is a great pickup, but they already had CMC, and then the guy that played all last year for CMC, his I don't know his name.
Yeah, Mike Davis is gone though. Mike Davis signed with Atlanta.
Right, but I mean, so
I agree. They did nothing to address their linebacker.
Yeah,
they addressed their secondary,
right,
but they did nothing to address their. So they drafted corners, they drafted defensive linemen, but neglected their linebacking core. So I don't know. They might have guys that they're comfortable with. So
yeah, well,
they might be Brian Gutekunst here and go, I think we're good.
Yeah, Well, I'm going to go with the worst pick on the Carolina Panthers was their 6th-round pick, number 22, number 222nd overall, Thomas Fletcher, a long snapper. Why are you spending a draft pick on a long snapper when you need linebacker help? I'm just going to do that right there. Why?
I'd seen I was kind of torn between him and Tremble because I'm looking again because yesterday I can't dock everybody that drafts a long
Yeah, you
snapper
can.
because I did it yesterday.
Yeah, you can.
But still a 6th-round pick. But there again, like we talked about yesterday, generally those guys are undrafted.
Right.
You can usually pick them up off of the street.
Well, so Wyatt is good friends with a long snapper that is going to college, like at a high school, and I am real good friends with him. Like I coached him through high school as a long snapper. But yes, long snapper is a talented position. You have to snap the ball like 16 yards or whatever it is. It has to be on the dime every time. And if you mess up one time, you are going to be ridiculed about it for the whole week because you don't get on the field that much. But 9 times out of 10, Tori, do you know who long snappers are? They're the 4th and 5th string Mike linebackers. They're thick body individuals that can run well. So I don't see why a NFL team couldn't put a backup linebacker in as a long snapper and teach them how to snap. Like if you're so good at your job, you should be able to coach anybody, any position, no matter the skill set. But I'm going to digress on that because I don't want to get too worked up tonight. So, what is the Panthers' overall grade?
Overall, I give them a C plus. They're again, nothing great, nothing too terrible. Like J.C. Horn was a great pick. They got good value with Terrence Marshall in the 2nd round. They got good value with Christensen. I'm not a fan of the Tremble pick. Good value with the Chubba pick. But then after that, all the way down like to their 7th round, outside of Davion Nixon, it's like I'm not super impressed. Um, I get what they're trying to do. I just don't know if it's going to work. So and they addressed everything but their linebacker need. So if you do that, their grade would be a little bit higher if they would have addressed their linebacker need. Even if it was a later round pick.
Yeah, and you say you see what they're trying to do. I don't see what they're trying to do at all. They're trying to add depth to positions that they already have skilled players in there. Starters for going into 2021 season, and they did not address the obvious need in the linebacking spot. So with that being said, you gave them a C plus. I mean, I got to be critical, man. I got to be hard. This is a D. Like this is one of the worst drafts in the NFL. I mean, they get a D because first of all, I don't J.C. Horn when like we were doing the live the live show here, you and Wyatt were both kind of shocked. You're like, really, J.C. Horn that high? Because I believe you guys had him going down in the mid 1st round, right? Early 2nd round. So
no, I actually kind of thought he would end up in Denver, which would have been the very next pick.
Yeah, but still not. I don't know, but I got to give them a D. You can call it what you want it, but